Hello everyone, welcome back to No Man's Sky 2.4, 2 or something. Today we're going to do what are portals for part 3, and in part 3 we're going to go do two things. First we're going to go by a hauler, and then we're going to go to a special system where exotic ships land consistently in the first wave and can be used to melt down ships and get storage augments or nanites or even money. I didn't bring the storage augments with me. That's all right. I only have 13. We'll get more. All right, let's go. That little impulse bean hasn't grown back yet. Concerned. The first thing we're going to do is go buy a hauler. It's a hauler that I found on one save and have bought on 2 saves after that. And now we're going to go get it on this save as well. It's called Mistress of Frost. Mistress. Trying to get my face working. Not a lot to ask. Fishy. And the last one is this triangle or triforce, some people call it. I'm just checking to make sure I got all those right. Okay. Actually have my concerns about this being the right address. So far, we've covered in what are portals for, going to see unique fauna or planets, going to a farm or a mine that has been found by someone else, built by someone else. And today we're covering buying ships. And I include the exotics in that because for scrapping ships, because you are essentially buying ships, and it's a great exotic. It comes, it has a possibility of being a 20 slot exotic with a high hyperdrive. First, we're going to see how long it takes for my Mistress of Frost to land. It is a long runway, so it takes a little bit longer when the runway of the space station is really long. Conversely, we could go to a trade post, but I would have to build the economy scanner. As you can see, I brought the docky to trade, and the docky doesn't have any technology in it. So we'll just have to wait and see how long it takes for this to land. When you go to a station that has a long runway like this, you want to face the opening of the runway to hasten ships coming in. If you take off and go upstairs, you can end up preventing ships from actually coming in. I don't remember what wave this comes in, or how long I was here, or even the name of it. Borjo. Borjo. There's 3 ships in here. There's 2 ways of doing this. One is to reload, to hasten the next wave of ships to come in. You see that first ship just took off already. The other is to just sit here and wait for ships to come in. The time difference depends on your platform. If you're on a platform that takes a long time to reload, standing around and waiting is an option. If your time to reload is only a few seconds, which mine normally is, although I gotta say, with the experimental update, it's a little bit longer, then you might want to consider reloading just to make this go faster. Oh, I completely forgot about that fighter. The worst thing is not knowing if you have the right system, you know, until you actually see the ship. Coming in on a frozen planet, though, gives me a great deal of hope. I remember finding Mistress of Frost the first time on a trade post on that frozen planet. Mistress of Frost is a Hawkwing fan in wing hauler, and she's big and she's gorgeous. And I found her originally on Permadeath: A Journey, and then went and bought her. I think it was on a normal. Oh no, it was on Perma 2020. I went and bought her again. And now we're just waiting. And here comes the fighter again. Should be 2 of those in here. Just the one. That's B-34. It's not a terrible fighter. I don't like having this tail thing in the air because it tends to block the view. There's that one. There's also a needle nose fighter here, also with the single engine. Another really nice fighter. So we're just waiting and hoping. Comes the fighter again. Let's see. I didn't look at the first one. The first one was probably the best one. I like that engine style, but the rest of it, yeah. It's red. Where's my hauler? Hello. Thought has crossed my mind. I wonder if I have the parts. I actually do have the parts to install it. The economy scanner. If you wait, 10 or 15 minutes and the ship you're looking for hasn't come in and you don't want to reload, then I strongly suggest you go to a trade post to look for it. Trade posts have a faster turnaround, and they also allow more ships to come in at once. Come on, Mistress of Frost. So exciting. It's like watching paint dry. This is why I don't do ship hunting. This is honestly the reason why I don't do it. Because you have to stand around and wait. And unlike the next system that we're going to go to, there she is. Mistress of Frost is not a first wave ship. This is the S-48 right off the bat. Well done. And there's another one right there. So I would call that third wave. And you can see this is a Korvax system, not a Gex system. So there's the S-48. and we are most certainly going to buy her. We're only going to get a few thousand for this ship. Literally 1.6 million is all we're going to get. Trade-in price 1.7 million. So there she is. We now have a super huge hauler. We no longer have that dinky little ship. This is a beautiful hauler. I never even liked haulers until I found this one. And she's just a stunning ship. Absolutely stunning. And it's hard to see the, let me put the sun out of the way. No, that didn't work. Put it over there. It's still hard to see the portal address for her. But yeah, this is my favorite hauler. And silver with blue highlights. She's absolutely gorgeous and easy to fly. Very nice flying ship. So we'll take her home and go get a different ship to do the exotics with. This is in Euclid. We haven't left Euclid on this save, so everywhere that I go, everywhere I take you through the portal, has to be Euclid until I either get a lift to another galaxy or we go through the center. Not looking forward to that trip. There we go. So that just took a little while. I call that third wave because definitely the fighters came in on the second wave. That first wave of ships can sometimes be really disappointing. So it's special, when someone gives you directions to a ship or a ship rather, and says this is a first wave ship. That's definitely special. Oops. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. So the radiant pillar sits in position 1 on my freighter. So anytime I melt a ship, this ship's gonna show up. So we'll just take her. We'll just save the trouble and take her. All right, let's go to the exotic system. See if I get this right. I don't dial portals every day, so I have to look at the mark and look at the address back and forth. All right, and the last one is Dragonfly. So here's the portal address for a dual exotic first wave in the space station, plus the Dragonfly. This was found by someone on Reddit and shared in Sword's live stream. That was the first place that I saw it. It's been shared a lot over the last few months, and since melting ships was a possibility. And you can see all the comm balls here. New Loden is the name of the system. If you come to a really popular system like this and you don't see dozens of comm balls, go back through the portal and redial because you're probably not in the right place. All right, this all happens on the space station. Obviously, there's some bases here. And once again, the only reason I'm taking the Radiant Pillar is because that's the ship that's going to show up every time I melt a ship anyway. So I just made sure that there was no cargo on board. And yeah, and I have room in my suit for lots of stuff. I can't call my freighter, but I can send things to my freighter if I need to. Alright, here we go. We're the first ship. Do we have any money left? We have 172 million left. As you can see, this is a short runway, so we can go goof off and make it back before ships land. You see that comm ball all the way from here. You can see the bases that are starting up on the HUD. You can see the bases. And once again, we're just waiting for the ship to start landing. Once you get the rhythm of this right, two of them will land at the same time. I've had, like, somewhat success with getting the rhythm right. There's a starfighter. And a TIE wing fighter. And a shuttle. That was decidedly not first wave. This is the first wave. Sometimes you have to reload to get the first wave to start properly. We might have to do that to get this going. That is the fighter. I was kind of hoping to be able to show this without doing any reloading, just so that you can see that it is possible. There's fighter number 3. This is Viking system, so there'll be 7 fighters total. Oops. Wish there was a third. Wish I could use my visor to go even closer to the end there. I'm still not seeing the exotic. I know this has been done without reloading. Once you have the exotic coming in, though, you're going to want to save and reload after you melt the ship. Just because it saves all of this time in between them showing up. You want to avoid interacting with any of these other ships because that just slows down the process. Is that the tier 3 coming in? Nope, that's the tier 2 explorer. Ugh. Face stopped working. Come on, exotic. You're famous for this. That is still not it. Yeah. It's the hauler again. I don't even really need to use my visor to tell when an exotic's coming. Good grief. See all the ships that come in and around it. party. That is Explorer number 3. Good grief. Yeah, it's the point at which I say, okay, we've been here for 3 minutes now. For a first wave, it sure is taking its time. Let's eliminate all of that by resaving and reloading. You can prevent all of that by, as soon as you land, get out of your ship and reload. So what I just did was cleared the deck of all those ships. And now I hope and cross my fingers. Hate wasting time on video. But I don't edit because I want you to see everything in between. That's the reason why I don't do edited videos. Partially that, and partially also because it's incredibly time consuming. And I would rather bring you the raw information and show you how it really goes than edit everything. So now I'll see which wave. There's an exotic right there, and there's the second one right there. We're going to have to buy both of them. There he is. Dude. A little close there, buddy. Okay, we're not even going to haggle about what it looks like or what the price is. We're just going to run across the room and buy the other one. Right now, you have a choice here. You can break down everything that's in the ship by just going in and, breaking it down. And then you got to send it somewhere. I prefer to send it to my freighter. And you're going to jump in there, get the scrap, turn around, run to the other ship. It's the B-34. Jump in. Oh, that was an A-class ship. As you can see in that brief second, it didn't bring a different ship to me because I brought the ship that is normally parked in the first position on my freighter. All right. That one's gone. Now we're going to jump down here, get in and out of our ship to save that, and reload. And that brings the same wave right back in. And while we're in here, we can grab the augments and put them on the starship. And you can see all the modules and some of the rusted metal. I still have that. I also still have some chlorine and chloride lattice on me and salt from yesterday. I would just wait for the wave to come back in again. The reason you reload is to speed it up, but it also gives you the opportunity to clear the deck of any of the ships that are here. So here it comes again. And there's the other one right behind it. So we'll buy the first one. Be sure not to exchange it. Where's the second one? There we go. And then with the second one, we'll sell the scrap from the first two. Sell all the way down. so that you don't have to keep going back and forth. Looks like I'm carrying some stuff I don't need. The circuit board came from the higher class exotic. So the more slots it has different things. Okay, now we're going to go back upstairs. You get 2 augments, and I believe it's 3 modules. Now we're going to claim the scrap. Go grab the second ship. I wish you'd just put me on the deck. That would be cool. Remember, you can break down all the stuff that's in these ships for even more money, or for supplies. Right. When you get to a point where you've got too much stuff on you, or you've got, you don't want to save the modules, oh, that's extra, then you come into any one of the dealers and you sell all the modules. And just from 4 of those exotics, we gained 7,000 nanites, something like that. And then you'll go down, back down, grab a save, and reload that same wave back in. If you don't save first, then you'll reload a different wave in, and you'll also lose all of your progress. So we are spending money. When you're done with this, if you're here for nanites, then I would suggest that you take all these augments and augment one of the exotics, and then scrap it, because it'll be worth all that money again. When you add slots to a ship, after a certain number of slots, excuse me, it increases the price of that ship, and therefore increases the scrap value of the ship. So we'll just sit here and wait for one more wave to come in. My goal ultimately with coming here is to get to 50,000 nanites so that I can upgrade my A-class fighter to an S-class fighter. And this is by far the fastest way to get nanites. Howdy. That was the expensive one. I may have knocked the 2 exotics coming in at the same time off by taking the time to sell those modules. There we go. So I can come in here and I can wait, or I can reload to bring that exotic back in. So you can see that you want to, if you want to keep doing 2 at the same time, you're going to want to reload as quickly as you can and put things in a different place so that you don't have to worry about what am I trying to say? So you don't have to worry about them not being there. Got a little extra room there. And the circuit boards are coming from the exotics. Yeah. There's one. There's the starfighter. You'll see that first, and then the exotic. So that is another purpose for using a portal, is to go someplace like this, where someone in the community has found a system where what you want to achieve is happening. And rather than you know, having to deal with finding it yourself. On the other hand, if you want to find things on your own, that's perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There are as many ways to play this game as there are players, because the game is unique that way, that you don't have to follow a set pattern. There's just that little tiny bit at the very beginning where you get access to the anomaly and where you get a hyperdrive and the blueprints for making hyperdrive fuel. That's the only part of the game that everybody has to do at the beginning. And then from there, it's completely up to you how you play or what you do. All right, you guys, I want to thank you all so much for coming along on part 3 of What Are Portals For? We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.